Crayola model magic seemed like a very strange material to work with, but also quite interesting. And after reading that it could be air dried, where it's so light and fluffy, I thought it might make a nice little tree ornament. If it works out, I'll do some things with the grandchildren in making tree ornaments or other similar things. The material is fairly expensive, so I thought it might be best to make things hollow. This would help make it lighter for a tree ornament as well. It's a bit like making something out of marshmallows. It's kind of fluffy in the way it works and sticks to itself. Kind of fun. Shaping it and working with it is quite different from working with clay, and I'm having a little bit of trouble just adapting to it and getting used to it. It's not so easy to make a hollow form in this material. I think I'll do a second snowman, and I'll make that one by making little balls of paper and wrapping the clay around it and see how that works. But for now, I'll carry on with this one. In this video, I'm using my normal sculpting tools just because I have them on hand. But if I were doing it with the grandchildren, I think I would make sure I had all wooden tools and no sharp edges, and the sharp edge of a wood tool could be used to cut it. In forming the hat, I noticed that it's very difficult to make a sharp edge. All the edges come out rounded, but this actually turns out to make it look like a cute little distinct kind of sculpture, and it makes the material something that you appreciate for what it does. The black model magic is well over a year old and still very workable. I think it keeps very well as long as you keep it in the original package, but an extra freezer bag or something to contain it would be helpful as well. I found it fairly easy to poke a hole in it with a small straw. Didn't seem to be a problem. I'm poking a little yarn through the hat to act as a hanger for the little ornament. It was also easy to roll it out to form a thin line. The black clay is just a little bit dry, so I thought I'd use a little water to join it to the white. But I did get a bit much, and I noticed some bleeding of the color into the white. I used an artist's brush to lightly moisten the hat band just to make sure it stuck well. I thought I would make a scarf by alternating the orange, red and black magic clay to see if I could get an effect that way, to see how it joined and see if it worked well. One thing I found was that in rolling it out, it would stick to this tray that I have that I'm working on, which is a textured bat. I think a smoother plastic would be perhaps better to work on. It's fairly easy to manipulate the different colors as you put them on, to just lightly stick them and then move them around a bit to get them how you want. Yes, it definitely sticks a lot less when working on a smooth plastic. I mixed in acrylic craft paint with the white Crayola magic stuff to see how it would work as a coloring to make the carrot, and I was very impressed. It took the color very well. It did make the clay softer and stickier though. I used a little water just to make sure the little balls of clay that were representing rocks would stick well to the snowman. To make the broom that the snowman would be holding on to, I felt, well, pretty well tested out and knew that it wouldn't support its own weight. The clay would limp over and bend. So what I thought I would try is a little wire armature, and I was curious to see just how the Model Magic dealt with that. Next time I'll just make the broom first and put it somewhere where it can dry, or stiffen it up a little bit using a hairdryer. I'm using yellow acrylic paint to color the straw. At first these colors seem fairly pastel, but as the clay dries, the color comes forward quite strongly. I think you could buy a large container of white Crayola Magic and mix all your colors just using acrylic paints if you wanted to. I think this is a great material for sitting down with kids and making something kind of cute, something they would be proud of, and having a lot of fun doing it. But before I do that and corner one of my grandchildren, I think I'm going to make another one where I work around a form and just get a little bit more familiar with working with it myself. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.